live. Unity Community Speaks is in the building. We are here with two lovely ladies. Three being myself, of course. Anyhow, we're here to have community conversations. We're going to meet here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. So after you get home, you settle in, you do your church service, your Bible study. Now's your time to relax, enjoy, and we need y'all input. If you'd like to be a special guest on our podcast, you can go to www.unity.org, send an email or a request to be a special guest. We would love to hear your voice. If you are truly part of this community, we would like to hear what you have to say. So with further ado, we're going to start our introductions. I'll go first. My name is Gloria Amaya. I'm the Vice President of Unity, Violence and Incarceration Prevention. I'm one of the hosts. I have two other lovely hosts on here today. But we're going to start off with an introduction, what community we represent, and an I am statement. With that being said, I said I'm Gloria. I represent the community of San Bernardino and my hometown, the city of El Monte. I can never forget where I came from. That's my roots. But also, I am determined, a community changer and a community leader. And I'm a mother. What else I am? I'm a daughter and a survivor of many things. And one, even just being in this community, I'm surviving this community as well. So I'm going to throw it off to Ms. Jasmine.
Hey, you guys. Good evening, wherever you are. Blessings, greatness to you all. I'm Jasmine. I represent Beautifully Scarred. I currently live in the area of San Bernardino, but I'm a Bay Area, Oakland, East Oakland baby. You know, that's my hometown always. And what I am is many things. The first one I'm going to say, I am me. I am a survivor. I'm a mother. I'm a thriver. I am of service.
Yes.
Yeah.
We throwing it off too. Last but not least,
to our big girl Z.
Hey. Z in the building.
It is I, Queen Z, in the building.
Go ahead, Cleo.
I am Zipporah Bill, and I am representing the organization CCSJ, Survivor Speaks for Safety and Justice. Off top, I am a survivor. I am powerful. I am amazing. I am a mother. Overall, I'm her. I'm she. You know what I mean? I am her. Ooh. I am she. That's it. Period. Point blank.
I love that.
I love it. And I also wanted to put, I am a member of Crime Survivors Speaks. Mm-hmm. Something like that. They changed it. CSSJ, y'all. We gonna get it together.
We are.
I too am a longtime member of CSSJ, Californians for Safety and Justice at the moment. But as you see, we all come from different communities, but one community is surviving and being a survivor. So with that said, our conversation today, our conversation piece is we want to bring up some topics that are happening in our community and how they can affect us. I had brought this up to Jasmine the other day, and I don't know if you heard about it, Z, but a young lady was murdered here in San Bernardino. Her name was Yesenia, I believe, Torres, and she was murdered for hire, as they speculated in the newspaper, by her husband, and there was 5 people involved. This was broad daylight. She was going to get something to eat, and they actually chased her around her car. And she fought the gunman and was fighting the gunman for her life. But this is just one thing that we see here in our community. And to say the least, I just wanted to start the conversation off and how it affected me as a domestic violence advocate, community advocate, a survivor, and also an advocate for those my peers who have survived domestic violence and have gone through some traumatic experiences. So when I read this article, I seen it in the local news and I seen it on Facebook and Instagram, and it was posted everywhere. So when I read this and I seen it, and I was like, man, we just ate at that place. It's right across the street from the Orange Show. And this was in broad daylight with no shame. They were on a mission. And I guess the story has it that they were going through divorce. So clearly there was some domestic violence issues at hand, whether it be, he didn't want to, be with her anymore, or whatever the case may be. But just to hear that a woman, a mother, someone's daughter, lost her life over a divorce was it was upsetting because there was other cars there was other people there. And what do we do as a community? How do we, leading ladies, us, how do we be proactive in advocacy? And what would we do if we seen that and we're just grabbing something to eat?
That's a great question. Because my heart went out, like I said, when I heard the story. I block out things like that. Unfortunately, of course, I pray and hope the best for the circumstance situation. But things like that I brought because of my own relatable trauma that when someone tried to kill me of an ex. So especially things like that I block out. But I didn't know it happened here. I didn't know it was in the community of San Bernardino. And it touched me even that much more. And to understand that she was running around her car trying to save her life, that's everything. Because it was like when I was fighting for mine. But I would say as a community, it has to be more than one, more than two, more than three. It has to be a unity of people. Because not only God bless you, Senia, her family, she's not the victim it happened to. We have to really stand for us all victims that have had that. But I feel like it needs to be a community of people more than just us. It has to be all of us. One voice is one sound, but we need a lot to make that one. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's my opinion on that one.
How about you, Ms. Z?
It's just mind blowing because I did not know that happened. Like, I mean, I know so many things happen within the community, but as far as like approach that I would take, like I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, let alone like, I mean, I throw words, but like for something to actually happen up close and personal in my face, I wouldn't even know, to be honest, all the way honest, I wouldn't even know what to do. In that, like, you jump in, intercede, do you jump in, like help, do you jump back, I wouldn't even stand there in shock, in awe. That's just mind blowing in broad daylight. It's just mind blowing.
And how far are you from San Bernardino?
From Moreno Valley, I believe it's like 25 minutes, like 20, 25 minutes, something like that.
Oh, okay. So not too far. I mean, look how close you are in proximity, and you didn't even hear the story.
Oh, I didn't hear it. It wasn't on the news?
Yes.
Oh, well,
It was on the news, and it's been in the media, it's been in the papers, so it's everywhere. So that goes to show you the awareness, the lack of awareness, right?
Yeah.
Lack of awareness within close proximities of communities. A lot of things probably happen in your community, Z, that we don't even know about.
Yes.
What has happened lately in your community that was kind of bothersome to you?
It's always murders. It's always coming home from work. The street blocked off. I go one way to work and from work because it's about, I'm gonna say, like 7 minutes to 11 minutes, depending. In the daytime is 11, at night is 7 because nobody's on the street. But so many murders. I am a part of this community. It's called Moreno Valley Matters. So this was probably like 7 days ago. Came home, the street was blocked off. It was nothing but police cars and tape, and I looked on Moreno Valley Matters, and it was a murder. And I'm like, what is going on here? And that often happens when I come from work. I'm looking down the street blocked off, or I'm going a certain way, or hitting down. I'll stop at the gas station, and I just see police. And I normally get off at 11, and it happens often. And I just look it up on Moreno Valley Matters, and it just tells me, oh, there was a murder, or this, that, and the third. It happens often in my city, even though Moreno Valley, the beautiful Moreno Valley, Sunny Me rant. No, it happens often. It's happening often in my community. It's just not spoke about.
Mhm.
I don't know why, because maybe people don't want to get a bad feeling or a bad feel. Because when you think of Marina Valley, you probably don't think of things of that nature. Militant town, right street from Mark Air Force Base. So
Oh yeah, you ain't very far. You just about maybe 10, 15 minutes on the freeway, 215 to the
I used to
60.
work at the base. Yes. So when you think
Yeah.
of Marina Valley, you think of a military town, a military town. No, it happens often.
Wow.
Very, yes, ma'am.
When I mention the word community accountability, what does that mean to you?
That that we should all hold each other accountable for us in the community. We all should hold our part as a community member, along with our fellow other community members, holding them accountable as well. That's the way I look at it. Because how we gonna have a unity if we don't hold ourselves or our fellow community accountable to make this a safer haven and to be at one, to be on the same page for the safety of our streets.
How about you, Z?
When I think of what is it when you say
Community accountability.
community accountability? I think of it as like advocacy. Advocating for your city or whatnot, getting the word out that doesn't reach your city or whatnot. That's what I think of, advocacy for your city. You're being the one to advocate for your city, bring awareness to your city, for your city.
Mhm.
That's what I think of.
When I first heard the word, because Marcus used it a lot, I didn't understand what it meant. But growing up, we had community accountability. It just wasn't given that word. It was your neighbors knew you, they knew your mom, they knew your dad. If you got in trouble, they were gonna tell.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody was accountable for your safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I thought of community accountability. Is a lot of people in this community, they see things but they don't say things, and
There you
and
go.
that's how things continue. Because I remember, if my neighbor told on me and I got in trouble, I wasn't going to do it again, at least in front of that neighbor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I thought about, oh, that's community accountability. That's holding everybody accountable to the safety of our street, of our communities. Um, and I was thinking, yesterday I was on my way home, and for several years now, there was somebody killed on my street, and he was a young kid. He was in high school. I would see pictures and decorations, the memorabilia of him all the time, and I never knew this kid's name. I would just see the little candles lit, and I felt so bad, like, man, that's somebody's baby right there. So yesterday, all of us being part of CSSJ and being advocates in our communities, I told Marcus, pull over. The whole family was there. They were decorating for, they had Mardi Gras decorations. And sure enough, I got to meet the mother, the brother, the stepfather, the siblings and whatnot. And she was just like, and I was telling her about what we do, how we advocate for survivors of crime.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, you're a blessing to stop and tell me this, because how many other mothers just like me are in San Bernardino with no voice?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I cry by myself. I suffer by myself. This is my son that was laying on the ground. She goes, my other son was with him and he got shot in the back twice and was in a wheelchair. And so I asked her, I said, hey, did they ever solve the crime, and did they convict him? She's like, no, I never got a phone call. I guess they put somebody, what she stated was there was someone that was a retired officer, was about to retire, that was on the case, and it fell off. So there's a mother who doesn't have no resolution to her pain. So where does she begin to heal?
I could say the same thing about my darn self.
Right?
I got ran over out here. Only thing I got is a damn police report, and people got asked questions.
Wow.
My mom
Did
didn't really know
anybody
what to do.
see
She
anything or
found
say
different ways.
anything? I'm sorry.
No, like, they all we have is like the police report with witness statements. Other than that, ain't nobody checked on me. Ain't nobody followed up. Ain't nobody did nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I'm still very much a victim of San Bernardino streets without the proper justice, without the proper assistance
Mhm.
myself.
And that was
Only
one of
thing
the
I
questions.
give,
Go ahead.
huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, only thing I give is Loma Linda because they saved my life. You know what I'm saying? I was out in the street dying. And I was in the street, ran over, and I was looking at the sky, and I said, God, please do not let me die.
Mm.
And I could not move. So I'm a victim myself, so I understand not being able to have. It's like, okay, boom. Like, hey, there you go. I got the police report still.
Mhm. And
But
then I
I
asked
have
you.
not heard nothing. I have not heard from an
Mm.
officer. I have not heard shit. Nothing. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me.
I mean,
Pardon
that's
my
your,
mouth.
The
that's
more
your feeling.
talk,
That's your feeling in the rawness, you know.
more, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
more of your story, more of your story. Like that's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
more and more the more you talk and like the more you elaborate and go deeper into your story. Like
And y'all don't know, like, it's like, and just to hear it, like, from Yesenia to the mom, I don't realize how deep my story is.
mm,
I suppressed it
Mm.
because in reality, who was really gonna help me?
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Um, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom and them moved me, like, and stuff, I got us to move back out here. I was
Mhm.
on my own with a learned disability after that.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine being 29, fine as wine, I'm still fine.
Yes,
And
you
it
are.
is.
And and having rods in your body, how to learn how to walk at 29 all over again.
Mm,
And in the first stages of walking, you saw my video, you witnessed it in the real life. When it's so deep. It's crazy because even when I think about it, I don't realize how deep it is. And that's why I love these conversations because you will never know. Like today at my job, I had, you guys know I keep my brace on because it's called a brachial plexus injury with a drop wrist. So my wrist, I got the brace on, my wrist look like this. I'm still embarrassed about it. I'm grateful for myself, don't get me wrong, but I'm still a woman. I still have
Mm.
insecurities, but I'm still strong and confident. But that is something that I'm not that confident just yet.
mm,
Mhm.
Imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm 29. I was able to do stuff. I can't even play basketball. I can play basketball. I can't even swim. There's certain things I'm limited to that I
mm,
can't do for myself. I know how to do hair like a bud, but I can't do my hair like that. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I'm shortchanged to do with my son. I'm just grateful to be a mother.
mm,
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it is difficult to have that. But I think I suppressed it so much in the back of my mind because it's like, it's just what it is. That's all. So look, this is how we finish her because all we can do is accept this what it is because ain't nobody coming to save me.
that
Ain't
part.
nobody coming to
Mhm.
help me. The only person that can really help me is God and me. Ain't
Mhm,
nobody gonna do that until we learn how to operate really as a unity in the community. That's why I said if we hold each other accountable, one, and we hold us accountable as a whole, that's how the darn change is gonna happen. That's how
Yes.
we're gonna move. You know what I'm saying? Because then people sitting high looking low, they won't be sitting high. They standing on us. So if we just
Mm.
stand up, if we stand the hell up, they gonna fall. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And it's crazy because it's like in this very real life moment, I'm telling you, it's like, dang, I didn't really know. Z, when you said it's like, dang it, it's really deeper than what I even felt because I suppressed it so much.
mm,
I'm out here. I was on the training stuff. I'm telling you, I'm out here. I got my degree. I did that without, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
stuff. And to be honest with you, when I should be sitting on something, I didn't
Mm.
ask for this. You know what I'm saying? And that person out here running around scot-free.
mm.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what can we do, you guys? What can I do? I can't, I mean, it's things I can do now. But What
I
really
mean,
can
that's
we
the
do?
beauty of us leading ladies in this community is we've learned through this process of connection, service, and leadership
Mhm.
how to do it now, how to advocate for ourselves in a state level, at a local level. And that's what I was explaining to the young man that passed away. His name was Gabriel. What I was explaining to Gabriel's mom is just because he's gone doesn't mean his voice is gone. We advocate on his behalf. And she's like, well, what does that look like? I said, you demand answers. You ask the right people the right questions. And I said, we can even do a peace walk from here 2 blocks up and 2 blocks back. And her daughter, in not thinking, remember how we talked about post-traumatic, disorder and how
PTSD. Mhm.
PTSD. And the daughter was like, well, will we get shot for doing a peace walk? And I said, I don't think so. We've done them here before, but she thought of her brother.
Mm.
Like my brother was walking and he got shot. I don't want to get shot walking on the street. I said, babe, I live a couple houses away from where your brother was murdered. I'll feel safe walking with you and in his honor. And that was an example of leadership, community accountability, but also networking her to resources of healing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I haven't seen, and I'm gonna be honest, in our community.
No, it's not.
It's a
It's
tear
not.
down.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not, as you can see. It's not.
Mhm.
It's a lot of trauma here.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a lot of trauma out here.
as we drive by the trauma, we see the trauma, we live through the trauma, right? I'm just giving you a quick example. When I first came to San Bernardino, probably about 9 years ago, I moved from Rancho Cucamonga, Alta Loma, beautiful suburbs, birds chirp, green grass, beautiful green plants, leaves, trees, close to the mountains. You could see the snow cap when it snowed. So when we came here, my kids cried. Why would you bring us here?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you bring us here? And I told them, one, being a single mom at that time, this is what I could afford, and we're going to make this home. And it came to a realization that one day I wasn't home. No, I was home. Or I wasn't home. Sorry, I wasn't home, and my kids called me, Mom, there's gunshots in the front. What do? We ran to the back. And I said, just stay back there. I'm around the corner and I'll get there. Are you safe? Yes. That was I never would have thought about that in my life.
Mm.
Growing up in my hometown, City of El Monte, I mean, we rarely heard gunshots. It was fist fights all the time in the street. If someone had a beef, you squabbled in the street and got it over with. But coming out here was like, did I put my kids in jeopardy of their safety?
Hmm.
But in the meantime, it taught us how to thrive in our environment, how to survive, and who to connect to in order to survive in this community. So I'm grateful for the people in this community, and some of them are local leaders who have given me that security of we know you by name, we know you by face, and we recognize you and your kids. So you're not just someone in this community, you're part of our network and our family. And it made me feel safer by knowing my city council, knowing who my state representative was, knowing who my county representative was. And that was because we were all networked through CSSJ. We keep plugging them in, but CSSJ helped me understand how our voice changes laws and how to get to know those folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
that's good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of them one. I didn't, and I'm still learning. I need to educate myself a little bit more on the local leaders and things like that because, and I'm just gonna be very very transparent.
go ahead.
I feel like it's a face, but not no movement.
Mm.
And The reason why I say that, because the stuff is still happening. You know, I'm not saying that they're not putting things in place, but I'm being 100% in how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't see y'all out here walking these streets and protesting yourself. You see what I'm saying? I don't see you with your big dogs coming down and really out here in these trenches. I could see you on the computer with your shirt and having events and stuff, which is still not a bad thing, and honoring these things. But I don't see you out here in these streets. Don't nobody want to be born to be poor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't nobody born on earth wants to be poor or have any lack thereof. You're grown into that. And you become the nasty, I always call it a pot. Like, imagine you're poor, then you got anger, then you have this, you got this going on in the home. That's that's a whole bunch of ugliness. And then that becomes the person. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you may get some good people out of it, sometimes you don't. Remember, bad things, you're not born bad. Your experiences is what make you.
Ooh, yes.
So if people on there, come on, if they get their little behinds from out of that office and out that little button up and really put on some shirt and some Timbs and get up out here, maybe we could really have some real policy change. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being honest. I'm not knocking no politician that's really trying, but I'm a victim. I don't consider myself, but I'm just saying what it was. I didn't see that. My brother and sister, I don't see that. Not even for them, for other people, I don't see it. It's still people out here dying. That girl died. What is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? That lady across the street away from you with her kid, what is going on? There's no way. There is no way that y'all got this and y'all get funded for this. So I'm not gonna stop, because then they're gonna try to go get me. They're gonna try to get me. Because girl, I'm on fire. Because I'm about to say, I'm like, you already know where I'm going with this, because I'm already know what this is. You know what I'm saying?
This is real talk. I mean, let's put it on the table while we're here with all of us.
Yeah.
Transparency.
They're gonna try to come get me. So I'm gonna be quiet. I start talking, girl. They're gonna be like, hold on, she a little too smart. Yeah, I'm from the hood and I'm booking up street smart. What? I don't have to be a politician to have common sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There
you feel me?
I mean, like you said, stirring up the pot and whatnot. You know, there's people in this community who get paid to do what they're supposed to be doing when it comes to a family like this, a victim, a survivor. And those are the people we have to hold accountable and sit them and talk to city council and know who our representative. You say you didn't know who your representative was. You need to know. So when you see that person in the street, oh, she fell. So when you see them in the street, you could hold them accountable. And the one that you're talking about, the trenches, here's two things about what I learned in this business. Is a trench is somewhere where you hide, and the front line is somewhere you stand and you don't mind getting shot at.
Yeah.
And I'm a frontliner. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
You know, I stand.
Well, that's what I meant. You know, that's just the slang when we say we're down in the trench.
There's people way down in the trenches. They're hiding because they want us to get shot first in the line of fire. Well, you stay there and you hide in the trench.
Yeah.
And that's where they at.
Yeah.
And I choose to stand with you ladies in the front line. And so that's how we have to see that mentality, is when we go these certain places and we're representing our community, you know, I want to know who's leading it. I want to sit with, you know, I know the mayor here in San Bernardino and my city council representative. And like I said, you know, I don't mind shaking their hand and going up to them and say, hey, what's going on? I have our councilwoman's cell phone number. So it's important that we do as the community know who's running it. Because if they ain't running it, who's running it?
The people in the streets, like they've been doing. Because I'm like, yeah, girl, I was like, yeah, I don't know. See that I so I don't like talking about the politics, because it makes my blood boil. You see me, girl? I'm about to break out something. Y'all ready? Hold, let me go ahead, just break it out. Let me get
break it out. What's she gonna break out, Z?
I'm about to, girl.
I'm seeing
with that little gender butt, with that little abs.
That thing.
Open it up. And then that's all the hell you see.
Yeah.
Okay? You know? And then I see you out here, oh yeah, we got a potlucks, we having this and that and all that. You may have somebody come just to show a face. But what I mean frontlining, not just in the trenches, but really frontlining. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you guys are here to help make the difference in changing in the community, then why aren't you here with a t-shirt and some jeans on? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're not gonna gotta be here all day, every day, because no, you're a representation. I get that. But you gotta be of a person of the community. But you know what I've learned too?
Hmm.
You gotta go through it to understand it. And see, when people don't come from it, they're not gonna understand it. That's one. Then you may have someone that went through it, and then now they feel like they may be too above it. But see, we real. I'm still on level ground. Plus or minus one, I'm Jasmine. Period. No, nobody make me. I made it through poverty. I've been through, I know how to survive off top ramen. You know what I'm saying? And I know what it's like to go to different places. You know what I'm saying? But that's just where I come at, like, as far as like with the politician, I just wish it was just more like just to see them more, to see that they care. But you know who really care? Us.
All we
It's
got
us.
is us. All we got is
So
us.
that's how we gonna start. And we're gonna be our own politicians.
So
We're gonna be like Donald Trump, where we can go in there and be like Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some money, like how they doing. You know, go ahead. We gonna run up. You know, we're gonna be a city
okay,
council like they
let's not
was.
go that far in politics. Let's not go
No,
that
I'm
far
just
in
no. I'm
politics.
playing. But I'm playing. But yeah, but no. But us as a community, that's where I feel like that's awesome, and it's great that we know that, we're aware of that, and what can we do as a unity in a community to help bring that change.
So what do we ladies do? I'm gonna shoot to Z. So with some of the topics we brought up that are very serious, very traumatic, even to politics can have an uprising in some folks. Hint, hint. What do you do for your self-care?
What do I do for self-care?
How do you get your mind out of your community? How do you get your mind off? You know, you just went, you drove by, you seen, oh, there was another murder, or, whatever goes on in your community. What do you do to get yourself out of that?
Well, I'm more like a earthy person. So I just, ground myself. I tap into, like a space that's like more pure. So like I'll probably go to like the park and like, write and manifest. I pray for my city. I always pray for my city and the surrounding cities and outside of my city. I pray for my country. So I just surround myself in love. Like I go to the park.
Okay.
I write. That's what I do. That's my self-care. I go to the park and I write.
Okay. Do you have any fears for your community as far as like personally? I mean, I'm just gonna give you an example. One of my fears was raising my son here in San Bernardino and having them to go through some situations or pressures that I didn't want him to go through going to high school and junior high here. So what I did was, personally, I sacrifice. It makes me upset all the time. I sacrificed being a mom every day since he was born to put him in a safer community, to live with his dad, not too far, but in a better environment. And a safer one, I feel, is safer. And that kills me. As a mother, I had to sacrifice my son's life to let him live and not be stand with Gabriel's mom in tears. I had to sacrifice my son and being a mom every day. So that was my fear of being in my community. Even though I know I'm a good mom, I pick them up, I drop them off. You do all that stuff to prevent this stuff from happening. But I could not have him go through the pressures of violence and the things that teens go through here in this community. There is no teen outlet. There is no safe haven per se, a community center where I felt he can go where he wasn't going to get pressured. So that really bothered me about being in this community is I didn't feel safe with my son here. My daughters, they were good. They thrived. You know, she went through high school honors because she learned how to be a leader of her own. But a boy is something different.
It is.
So is there any personal fears that you have from your community?
I don't have any fears because I know what I put into my child. I have two sons.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 10-year-old and I have a 13-year-old, which is they're very different. They're very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my community, like what I pour into my children, I'm safe and secure that they're gonna follow that. Because like I mean, the community around me know I'm not that mother that plays, like not mine, you know, like I know what Beckham, like I don't play about my kids. I do not. I carried them, I birthed them, you know, like I go through this thing, not saying by myself because I have a strong foundation that will bend them backwards. So
Mm-hmm.
no other choice but to sway right. They might bend left, but they're gonna sway right. I mean, I have no fear. I'm fearless, baby. I don't fear nothing. Like I have no fears. There's no fears in me. Like worry, maybe, just like am I too hard? But as far as my community and them swaying into what it's gonna be, no, because my foundation is strong. Where I come from, my lineage,
Oh
like
yeah.
what's in then what's in them. So I would sacrifice myself, like I allow my child to sway to my community, or you know, like have influence them to be anything that you know, like not align with what they need to do, not align with their purpose. But I get what you're saying, like how you had to send your son off. Like that's a mother. Like, you know, that's what we do as mothers. Like, I'm gonna send you off to do what you need to do to a better environment because you couldn't see yourself losing your son, like to the streets or like another stigma. Because San Bernardino then took just the city alone and took lives. Like I relate to many different people just on that alone. Like, oh, I know somebody who lost their lives, or I had a cousin, I had a brother, my son's dad. Like, it's so many people. The common denominator is that.
There's a lot of blood in these streets.
A lot of blood in the streets, like
A
a
lot
lot
of
of blood
blood.
in the streets, like it is. So I get what you're saying when you say you have to sacrifice that. And as a woman, like I respect that. You know, like I honor
Thank
that
you.
mother, but that's what we do as mothers. Like we do some stuff. We stand 10 toes down in our power.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you know, when I mentioned like I know these politicians and have their number and stuff like that, it wasn't even for clout. It was just to say like, even with that, with that security of knowing who I know and knowing, you know, the detectives and people from the PD, I still didn't feel safe for my son to be here.
okay, yeah.
Knowing who I know and knowing what phone call to make, you know, in my neighborhood when I was growing up, I would walk at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, his age.
Yeah.
With no fear.
Yeah.
No fear. My parents didn't have to worry because we knew everybody. There was that community accountability, right? My dad would tell his friends, if you see my daughter in the street, you bring her home.
Yeah.
Because if not, you got to answer to me.
That's how it was back in the
right?
day. That's how it was. But my son, I would not. I'm telling you, like, I'm not putting my child on no shirt. I'm not one of those parents. I'm not marching. Oh, my son. No, baby. I'm not. Go ahead. Like, whew, I'm not putting my son. Ain't gonna be no candlelight. Ain't gonna be no. He on the shirt. I'm not. I'm not going out like that. Like these streets would not take none of my children, my children's, my grandchildren's, my niece, none of that. I'm not putting my children on no shirt. Like I will be something crazy. I'll be on the news, y'all.
How about you, Jasmine? How about you, Jasmine?
As far as like the fear part, I feel see where she coming from. So I stand in my God body on that. But I am concerned and worried, you know what I'm saying, about the things that do happen in the community. And that's why I'm putting myself in position in career rise, money rise, business wise, to get us up out of here, because I don't want my son to be a part of this environment. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. that this environment is like that, because it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to grow up around that. You know what I'm saying? I want him to have his best chance in everything and don't have to look over his shoulders and stuff. And it's crazy because I used to be out here in these streets.
Mm.
And I guess the people I used to be with, I don't know, until things happened, you didn't really didn't know how it really was until it happened, until a situation happened. And I want to say, Gloria, I want to say sacrifice. You did what you were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You did what you were supposed to do, baby. I would have done the same thing 10 times over. You know what I'm saying? And a blessing and a great thing out of it, at least you have the outlet to do it. Imagine mothers that don't got the outlet to do it, that ain't got a child's father that will be like, you know what I'm saying? That will actually want to take their son in that setting. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I commend you on that, because I would do the same thing 100 times over. You feel me? And now that I'm a mom, I understand, because I am concerned for my own son. Even though he's 5, I'm already like, dang, even in kindergarten, I got to get ready to get him in kindergarten. All I could think about is like, dang, I know how I raise him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's tough. He gonna know how to, you know what I'm saying? But I don't raise him with that. I raise him with this. I raise him as a God in himself, as a Black young man. So I know how I raise him, but I can't speak for other parents. And I'll knock no other mama because I don't know. But I just know what I know in my household, how I raised my son. And I don't want him to become a statistic of any of that. It's already the odds against us, especially as Blacks and Browns. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want him to be of that. So that's why his mother, me, is doing what I need to do so I can get us up out of here.
So I asked Z, what does she do for self-care? What do you do for self-care? You had a little girl trip recently.
Girl, yeah, I went to Jamaica, okay? So that's part of self-care. But to be honest with you, I like to meditate and pray. I do also, I ground, like in grass and things like that. But to be honest with you guys, it's a combination of things. It depends on really what's going on in that moment, what I need to self-care for, if that makes sense. Sometimes it could be like reading a book, and I just need to read that book to help wind me down instead of watching a TV show. Sometimes I just need to be in solitude with myself and just pray. And I go like, I just need to be on my bed, show up here watching Basketball Wives Love Hip Hop or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or watching Sisters or something, like, you know what I'm saying? But it just all depends on that. But I know one thing I think all of us have in common, and this will always work, I'm telling you. Get you some candles. Get you some flowers.
Yes.
Get you some good Epsom salt and make you a bath. Turn on some nice frequency, calming music. That is the best self-care. That is the best self-care. Out of all the stuff, that is like the best, because you're in solitude, it's warm. Your mind, body, and spirit is all in one in that. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. Well, for my self-care, lately I've been eating right, getting my body right. I put positive music into my ear to get my head right, my mental.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with opportunities, I like leaving the city. I ain't gonna lie. Leaving to neighboring cities where it's cleaner, the grass is greener, the trees are fuller and green. And I'm gonna be straight up. I lived from the city. I'm not from the city. So a lot of people take pride in the city. I'm prideful. I live here. I pay my taxes here. I work here. I advocate here. But any chance I get to go to Redlands, Rancho, Rialto, Montana, the neighboring cities that are thriving, that's what I want for this city, so I could stay.
Yeah.
You know, I want to enjoy my rent money that I pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to walk outside. You know, sometimes the serenity of the birds chirping outside my door, I'll sit in the car and just listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not so much what I hear and what I see on Baseline or G Street, because that's depressing in itself,
Mm.
you know. But if I could just step out my house and hear that there's life, that there's life living, I think your background just
Oh, my God.
you didn't put enough
It's all
sage.
right, boo. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna and the show must go on. Look, Z, look,
Candle, let me get the candle.
look, look. The show must go on. Okay?
Hey, we're gonna do this to her like back in the day.
cut it.
The
Apollo
show must go on.
on Apollo night. Look. But anyhow, I mean, this
But
is
yeah.
what this every Wednesday. Stay tuned, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
This is what it is. I believe we can have up to 10 people in this room. I don't ever want to have that many because that's insanity. But if
Yeah.
we can have a couple more, some men in this room, some
I think that'd be awesome. We need some testosterone around here.
And do
We have
You
some
know what I'm
leading men.
saying?
We have some leading men in this community.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Huh?
Go.
Yes, we do.
Where that?
Yeah.
Where?
He's actually controlling the backstages of this. That's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But
The back end.
I know
Lil Marcus. That's Lil Marcus right there.
Z and I are planning to do a podcast. It's a son and mother conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
We both have teen boys, and the language, the lingo, the riz is different.
Man.
The vibe is different.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that because he always cracks me up because I'm old compared to his new lingo, and it's so funny. But Marcus, do you want to sign us off and say anything? And it's so funny.
I ain't really got much to say, but thank y'all. You know what I mean? It's real appreciative from my end to know that we got, some of the women in the community, some of the mothers in the community, that's willing to give a little insight into what's going on, so it doesn't, I hear Jasmine asking for the testosterone, but at times in this type of space, I think to be able to allow people to hear from the mother survivors is probably the best starting point.
Yeah. No, and I get that. And the reason why I say the testosterone, because I feel like men's voice are always silent. I feel like women are always up front when you guys are the one, not to say the women that were not affected, but men are affected the most, especially the young boys that are being tested out here. And that's why I say that, like, they need to hear from y'all. You know what I'm saying?
They will.
Yeah.
We gonna have a lot of good stuff going on. As long as we can stay consistent, it's gonna be pretty dope and precious.
Yes. Every Wednesday's at 8.
Every Wednesday at 8.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
Z, you gonna be in next Wednesday? You're gonna be at work.
I'll still be here.
So it's
Look, she her own boss.
And I am.
And she is.
She is her. She is her.
I will be on company time. On here. Yes.
On company time.
Yes.
I don't think you don't say that, Z.
She already said it. She said what she said.
They not on.
Yeah, she said what she said. You're right about that.
They not on.
She said they know. They know she is he. She is her. She is he. She is her. But y'all, everybody stay, I appreciate you guys coming on, watching it. Stay blessed, stay loved, and stay accountable to our community and hold those in our community accountable to where they sit in our community. So one love.
One love. Let me say my quote. I want to always close out with this quote. My favorite African proverb: when you defeat the enemy within, the enemy outside cannot harm you. We out.
All right.
Damn.
Hey, peace and blessings. On.